Imagine your best friend suddenly collapsing right next to you while everyone around you keeps eating lunch, like absolutely nothing happened. There is no funeral, no ambulance, and no dramatic movie soundtrack telling the audience to cry at the right moment. Life just keeps moving. That sounds cold to humans, but in nature, death is everywhere. Something is always hunting, starving, drowning, getting stepped on, or becoming somebody else's dinner. Nature looks peaceful from far away, but most animals are basically living inside a survival horror movie with no pause button. Every animal alive today comes from a bloodline that survived millions of years of chaos, predators, disease, starvation, and terrible luck. Evolution has basically been one giant elimination tournament, and the losers usually got eaten. And yet, despite all that brutality, some animals react to death in ways that feel strangely emotional. Elephants gently touch the bones of dead family members. Chimpanzees carry dead infants for days. Whales sometimes refuse to leave their babies behind even after they die. Meanwhile, other animals see a dead body and think, free snack. Nature has emotional range issues, so now the question becomes uncomfortable. Do animals actually understand death, or are humans just the only species emotionally unstable enough to spend our entire lives worrying about it? For most of Earth's history, understanding death was not useful. Avoiding death was useful. Millions of years ago, any creature that stopped to emotionally process its feelings for too long usually became lunch for something with bigger teeth. Evolution does not reward deep philosophical thinking. Evolution rewards survival. That is still true today. A gazelle does not wake up wondering about mortality or the meaning of life. A gazelle wakes up already running like it forgot to pay taxes to a lion. Most animals evolved to react instantly to danger by running, hiding, fighting, or escaping as fast as possible. Survival needed speed, not emotional reflection. But over time, some animals became more socially intelligent. They formed families, friendships, alliances, and long-term emotional bonds. And once relationships become important, death suddenly becomes much more complicated. Because now absence means something. A mother disappears forever. A child suddenly stops responding. A lifelong companion never comes back. That feels different from simply losing sight of another animal in the bushes. Scientists have observed chimpanzee mothers carrying dead infants for days or even weeks. Researchers believe these mothers may understand that something is wrong while struggling to let go emotionally. And honestly, that hits a little too hard. Crows also react strangely to death. When one crow dies, nearby crows often gather around the body while making loud warning calls. Scientists sometimes call these gatherings crow funerals. Researchers believe the crows may actually be studying danger, learning what killed the other crow, and warning the group to avoid the same fate. Which means crows are basically tiny goth detectives with wings. And somehow, that feels completely believable. This is where things become both fascinating and emotionally confusing. Elephants have repeatedly been observed gently touching skulls and tusks with their trunks while remaining unusually quiet around dead members of their group. Even when the bones belong to unrelated elephants, they often stop and investigate them carefully. That is a surprisingly emotional reaction for an animal that can also throw a tree at you if it feels disrespected. Dolphins and orcas show similar behavior. One grieving orca mother carried her dead calf across the ocean for 17 straight days while traveling more than 1,000 miles. Nobody taught her to do that. No therapist whale showed up and said, "This is part of the healing journey." She simply refused to let go. And then nature immediately reminds you how weird it is, because hamsters will sometimes eat their dead roommate like nothing happened. Nature does not believe in emotional consistency. Ants are another example. When an ant dies, its body releases chemicals called necromones that basically tell the colony, "Yep, this one's dead." Worker ants immediately drag the body away to stop disease from spreading. Cold? Absolutely. Efficient? Also, absolutely. Because nature does not care about emotional speeches during a pandemic. Predators also change the way we think about death. Lions, sharks, wolves, and crocodiles kill constantly, but they are not evil creatures. Most predators are living one bad week away from starvation themselves. A lion only succeeds in roughly 20 to 30% of hunts. That means most hunts end with the lion exhausted, hungry, and questioning its life choices. Nature is not divided into good guys and bad guys. It is divided into hungry things and things trying very hard not to become food. Humans love imagining nature as peaceful because we focus on sunsets, waterfalls, birds singing, and soft documentary music. Meanwhile, somewhere nearby, a praying mantis is literally eating her boyfriend alive. Nature has never cared about maintaining the vibe. Every creature is trying to survive while avoiding becoming somebody else's protein bar. And strangely, understanding death may actually help some animals stay alive. Elephants remember dangerous locations connected to death. Crows remember human faces associated with danger, and can even teach other crows which humans should be feared. Imagine annoying one crow and accidentally becoming a generational enemy to an entire bird civilization. That is supervillain level networking. Humans are animals too, which means our fear of death evolved just like every other survival instinct. Fear keeps us alert. Grief strengthens emotional bonds. Empathy helps groups survive longer by protecting injured or vulnerable members. The emotions that hurt humans the most may also be the reason our species became successful, and maybe that is why animal grief feels so emotional to us. Because deep down, we recognize something familiar in it. Not language, not intelligence, connection. So, do animals understand death? Some probably understand that life has ended. Some may only recognize absence or unusual behavior, and a few might experience something surprisingly close to grief. But nature does not give animals much time to mourn because survival continues immediately. The herd keeps moving, the ocean keeps flowing, predators keep hunting, life refuses to stop. And yet, every now and then, an elephant quietly touches old bones, a whale refuses to leave her baby behind, or a chimpanzee carries a child that will never wake up again. And in those moments, the line between humans and animals suddenly feels very thin. Maybe grief is not proof that humans are separate from nature. Maybe grief is proof that we were always part of it. Because in the end, every creature on Earth is simply trying to survive long enough to matter to something before it disappears.